Yo, what's up guys? This video is an advanced Kyoshin guide. But before we get into it, I just want to thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. And by the way, I'll be uploading an updated Shinobi guide when his rework gets released. So make sure you sub so you don't miss out. So to get things started, I'm going to show you guys his light and heavy chain attacks. And keep in mind, throughout the entire video, if I'm using a move from his move list, I will tag it in the top right of the screen, so you can see it, so you know what controls and buttons I'm using. So there was his 2 chain attacks that he can do. And at the end of it, both of his chain finishes are undodgeable. So if my opponent was to try to dodge the attacks, I would get caught by both of my chain finishes. So now I'm going to talk about his bash. His bash can be done after any attack, or any opener attack, and it gives him a free light attack if it lands. This move is very useful because your opponent will try to dodge this bash a lot, and that means you'll be able to land your unblockable chain finishes because your opponent will be dodging, trying to get away from the bash. So I'm going to make my opponent dodge. So if I were to land a hit on my opponent, he would most likely try to dodge after my first attack because he would want to dodge the bash. And if he did that, he would get a free guard break on me. So a lot of my opponents I've been versing have been trying to dodge after I land a hit. So if they're doing that a lot, just use your undodgeable chain finisher and it will catch them. So here's the 50-50 on the character. You'll be using this a lot because this is one of your main ways of damaging your opponent. So now I'm going to talk to you about his other bash, which is a dash forward bash. You can do it from the neutral, and that gives you a guaranteed light attack. And after that light attack, you can go into your other bash. So you do this, go into your other bash and get another light attack. And if your opponent's thinking of dodging the second bash, you can just, instead of doing the second bash, do a undodgeable attack. You can bait out a guard break using this kick by dashing at your opponent and then guard breaking instead of doing the kick, because it is quite unreactable and fast. So now, I'm going to quickly talk about his other neutral attacks. His dash side heavy, which does 15 damage, and his dash forward heavy, which does 20 damage. Both of these attacks are openers, so they do lead into his bash combos, his bash mix-ups. But his dodge side heavies are a very good panic move. So if your opponent's throwing an unblockable, you don't know if you want to go for the parry, dodge attack. It's kind of like Kensei's. I'm not sure if I can get guard broken out of it. I will test that out right now. Oh, he bounces off. That is very good to know. So if your opponent was trying to do an unblockable attack and bait you out, then he's going to try hit a guard break. You can get out of there safely with the dodge heavy, and then you can go into your other mix-ups. Very good. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about his full block stance, which is called the K's stance. So first off, this stance is a full block stance, so block all incoming attacks. And you have 3 different attacks you can do out of the stance. You've got the heavy attack, which is an unblockable. Got the light attack, which is a quick light attack to your right. And you've got a zone attack, which is a quick light to your left. And after any of those 3 attacks, you have some follow-up attacks. You've got these 2 follow-up attacks you can do after any of those attacks you just did. So, if I was to do the unblockable heavy attack, I can spam light attacks and do the Fujin cuts. Or if I was to do the heavy attack and click another heavy, I will do the Fujin force. And I can do those 2 attacks after any of the original 3 attacks that you can do from the K's stance. So I can do a light attack into Fujin cuts. I can do a zone attack into Fujin cuts. I can do a light attack into Fujin force. I can do anything into anything, really. I can do a zone attack into Fujin force. So the stance opens up a bunch of different attacks you can do. And all of those attacks I just showed, you can also do that as a counter attack. So if I get my opponent to do an attack, like a dodge light attack, and I counter attack it with my stance, I can then do those moves that I just showed you. Another thing about the K's stance, the Fujin force attack, which is this attack. It's the heavy attack there. That isn't guaranteed. They can block that after anything. So no matter what I do, if I do the unblockable heavy first, that heavy there, the second heavy, can be blocked. But the reason this move is good is because if you do it and you hold your full block stance button, you go straight back in to K's stance. Like so. See, after the Fujin force, I keep holding my button and I go straight back into the stance. Which lets you keep continuing doing your different moves, like Fujin cuts, etc. Another good thing to mention about this Fujin force move is that it is a crushing counter in all directions. So if my opponent was to dodge my attack, which I'll make him do now, he will dodge then light attack. If I do the unblockable and then the Fujin force, he might dodge my unblockable, then try to hit me. And if he does that, my Fujin force attack will crush and counter his attack. Like so. You see that? Works every direction. So that stops people who try to dodge all of your moves. Even works after the light attack. Might need to delay it a bit versus this Orochi because the move that he's doing is quite slow. But yeah, so that completely defeats dodges. People are trying to dodge your unblockables or dodge any of your quick attacks. Because people are going to try dodge your quick attacks because they don't want to have to react to them. So yeah. That's about it for Fujin Force. Also, after any of your attacks, you can hold your full block stance and you will enter full block stance. For example, if I heavy attack this guy and hold the button down for full block stance, I'll immediately go into it. So you can use this in a bunch of different combos and mix-ups, and it can be quite devastating. Like so. See, after my bash punish, well, my bash mix-up, I hold down my full block stance button, and then quickly input an unblockable, because I can do it that quick. It's that fast. And also, if your opponent is spamming you with attacks, or say this Orochi does a heavy, or even a heavy light, I can block the heavy, hold down full block stance, and it'll block the next attack, because if I get attacked and hold the full block stance, it will turn on immediately. And then I can start hitting him with counterattacks. Being able to go into full block stance after blocking one of your opponent's attacks is very useful for shutting down spammers. Because if I block an attack, he will probably throw out his next attack. And then I'll be able to already be in full block stance and then get a counterattack. Just like to say again, after any attack of yours, if you hold your full block stance button, you will go into your full block stance, and you will be able to do any of the attacks out of the full block stance very fast. So if I was to heavy my opponent, hold my full block stance, and I could do any of the attacks you can see at the top right of the screen quite fast after my hit. Also, if your opponent's trying to dodge your dash and heavy, you can hold your full block stance, and since you attacked, you immediately go into the full block stance, and you can block in front of his attacks and do any of the moves I talked about. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the K's stance unblockable attack. This attack is very good. You can cancel it out and grab your opponent. That wasn't it. That wasn't a fucking grab. So his K's stance unblockable attack, you can cancel it out and get a guard break, which is very good, because then you can also go into your other bash mix-ups or your K's stance mix-ups, and you can just do so much with this character. It's kind of crazy. So his unblockable attack from the K stance is very good, because you can combo it with any of your other attacks, or your bash mix-up, or your heavy and light chain attacks. You can do it whenever you want, because you can enter the K stance basically after any move, and his unblockable is the first attack that comes from it. So I'll show you some of the mix-ups you can do using the unblockable attack. So you could do something like this. Like that. Or... okay, that was dumb. Like that. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So now... okay, bro. So...
oh, come on!
okay, so now I'm going to show you some of the mix-ups that are in the...
Is this the best you can do?
Is this guy going to keep cutting me off? I need to be in a different map. This is... okay, so I'm going to show you some of the mix-ups that are in the...
I am bored!
okay.
This is not a fight! This is an execution!
Okay, I'm gonna swap maps. That is ridiculous. That is literally ridiculous. What the fuck? Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys some of the combos I've found in the hero trials. You can go into the hero trials and practice this legend yourself, and it will show you these combos on page 7. These will show you some pretty good mix-ups. You can see them on the screen right now if you want to do them while watching this video. And I'm just going to demonstrate what this character is capable of using these combos. Okay, here I go. That was the first one. Okay, now the second one. Now the third one. Look how long this combo is. This just goes to show how technical the character is actually. This goes to show how technical the character actually is. That one combo takes up my entire stamina bar, and it does so much damage, and it's very cool. So you guys can look at these combos in the hero trials, and even make up your own different techniques and combos using these as a template. Like you could do something kind of like what it shows, but just a little bit different. And you can keep practicing this and get your own combos to do on people in matches. And yeah, now I'm going to go and show you guys the hero punishes. Okay, so first off, on his punishes, his heavy parry punish. I missed a heavy parry, but ignore that. First, you'll get a light attack. From a heavy parry, you can get a zone attack, which is 14 damage compared to the light attack 2 damage. I really don't recommend doing this because it's not worth the stamina loss. If you can just hit the normal light attack, you can go into a lot better and longer mix-ups. Or, you can, instead of going for a light attack after you heavy parry, you can go for a light crushing counter. It also goes into his bash, and it's very fast and quite unpredictable. My light attack parry punish is a top heavy, well, any direction heavy. So for an out of stamina parry punish, you can get 2 top heavies. Gives a lot of damage, 54. Now if your opponent's out of stamina and you get a guard break, you just get a light attack into a heavy attack. But you need to throw them to the right or the left. Or behind you. Alternatively, you can also get a zone attack and a heavy attack. Gives an extra 2 damage. Personally, I don't like using the zone attack to get a little extra damage, because it takes up so much stamina. So if you do the normal light attack into heavy attack punish, since you have so much stamina spare, you can go into full block stance and bait out an unblockable and get another parry into double top heavy for a lot of damage. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the character's frame advantages. To start this off, I'm going to show you guys me hitting him with a heavy chain finisher, and how we both end at the same frame. So, yeah, we both end the animation at the same frame, so we can both hit at the exact same time, and our lights hit each other. You can see. So since both of our attacks come out at the exact same time after I hit him, or after he blocks my heavy chain finisher, that means that we're in the neutral, both of our attacks same time, we're both 0. There's no advantages, no disadvantages. We're both equal, right? But as this character, I can hold my full block stance after my heavy chain finisher, and that gives me the ability to hit before him. So it gives me the frame advantage, as you can see. Now, my attacks come out before his. So I can attack to, didn't mean to do that. I can attack to interrupt his attack, Or I can just sit there and wait for his attack to be countered by my ability. Well, by my move. Yeah. So another thing about frame advantages is, as this character, my light to heavy chain can be interrupted by a light attack. So after my light attack, he has the frame advantage, so his light attack will hit me, because it's coming out quite quick. And so if I was to light attack and light, he hits me because he's got the frame advantage. But if I hold my full block stance after the light attack, I can get a parry off, or I can even hit before him on my next attack. This goes to show how good his full block stance actually is, because you can claim the frame advantage and hit before your opponent can on basically every single attack. Using this correctly, you can make it so your opponent can barely even hit you. Even after your zone attack, your heavy attack is interruptible by a light attack from the Orochi. So I just hold my full block stance, then I get to hit before him. Or I just sit there and get a counter attack. This works on most moves in the game for this character. Alright, so that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I helped you guys out. And if I missed anything, try stack it up in one comment, and I'll pin that comment. So, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to edit something funny on this guy's face, so yeah, it's going to be the outro. Let's hope it's funny. Alright, bye.